Over the weekend, I took a brief poll of some of the people in my life and I asked them to define sexism. And most people said a hate of women. But it really struck me that a lot of folks didn't understand the different polarizations of sexism that can exist. So stay with me. I'm going to talk about it now. So what is it called when somebody espouses this kind of internal conflict in how to treat women, how to be around women, how to conceptualize women? Well, it's called ambivalent sexism. And it's harmful because it can be really tricky to recognize, especially when we've romanticized heterosexuality through the lens of this benevolent sexism. So both benevolent sexism and hostile sexism are organized around paternalism, but benevolent sexism gives the illusion of a protective paternalism, whereas hostile sexism is all about domination. Now, both benevolent and hostile sexism will talk about gender role differentiation, and the difference between benevolent sexism and hostile sexism in this regard is that benevolent sexism basically claims there are complementary gender roles, right? This is the way that benevolent sexism can be really sneaky and look like it's doing something great for people of both genders. Whereas hostile sexism, the gender role differentiation, is competitive. Men who ascribe to this kind of sexism tend to feel like they are in competition with women and that women are in competition with them to be dominant. So it is not a complementary position, and in fact, it is one that very patriarchal men who uphold these ideas of hostile sexism need to consistently be demonstrating over and over in this competitive way. And last, both benevolent sexism and hostile sexism really focus on heterosexuality as being the only way to be. And the difference between benevolent sexism and hostile sexism in this case is that benevolent sexism really romanticizes heterosexuality, this idea that men and women just need each other and they can't be complete without each other, all of that. Whereas hostile sexism, it's a very combative heterosexuality, and men who endorse higher levels of hostile sexism often see women as manipulative through means of seduction. They will believe that women will use their seductive ways to gain power over men. So in essence, they're quite afraid of women and their sexuality, which begets that competitive gender role differentiation and the need for dominative paternalism.